we can get to my last topic. This last topic is the Luka Lakers, y'all. Luka Lakers, man. They lost to Brooklyn. First of all, they lost to Boston in a blowout fashion. Somewhat. They came back in the fourth. But they lost LeBron to a growing injury. Luka back was kind of hurting. That's what happened when you carrying weight that you ain't supposed to have. Like Luka not supposed to be that big. And, I mean, he shouldn't be playing point guard. He can't move. He can't guard point guards. Put that big man at small forward and get the ball to someone else, man. I mean, at this point, it's ridiculous forcing this man to play point guard, man. That's making stuff worse for his body. But nonetheless, they lost to Boston. Jaylen Brown was treating Luka just like he treated him in the finals, stealing the ball from him. He had several turnovers. They was trying to hunt Al Horford on the defense, and Al Horford was guarding them with no help, and they couldn't get past Al Horford. I love to see him do that. That was LeBron and Luka. He was turning Luka over as well. It was ugly. They recorded him for 5 turnovers, but I think he had about 8. There was some of them that didn't even count, like him being in the high post and the entry pass coming and Jaylen Brown going around him and just stealing the entry pass. Of course, the turnover was going to go to the passer and then go to Luka. That happened once or twice, right? So all the turnovers he wasn't getting credited for, but I think he had about 8. Then he had another 5 against Brooklyn last night. Brooklyn beat them, y'all. Brooklyn, which is poetic justice because guess who run the point for Brooklyn? D'Angelo Russell. And D'Angelo Russell was he had a pretty good, decent game. And I just thought it was interesting that Luka couldn't carry the team. But when you look at him out there, he really don't look good. He gets his numbers sometimes, but he really don't be looking good. He's still complaining to the referees. Every play that don't go his way, he's complaining to the referees. He's just a disrespectful type dude, and it's crazy because when he's in a space where he can just be himself, he really seems like a good guy, man. And him and Kyrie got a good relationship, and I think Kyrie really likes him. But Kyrie like everybody, right? So I don't know what to think about him, but when I see how he treated the coaching staff for Dallas in the finals, where he was screaming on them and telling them the challenge and all this crazy stuff, and the way, I mean, you can't have respect for someone that you show up like that publicly when they're in a position of authority over you as a coach. He didn't have respect. That's probably why Rick Carlisle left, right? I mean, why would Rick Carlisle, who won a championship in Dallas with Dirk, get this generational talent in the draft, see that he's a triple-double threat, and then when it comes down to extending his contract, he was like, no, I'm going to Indiana and I'm starting over. What coach would run from a generational talent? So you got the coach ran from Luka. Then you got Porzingis came over there to help, and Porzingis didn't last but 2 years, and he was like, I want out. So they called him the unicorn. So he was a generational talent at some point. So a generational talent and a finals winning coach both ran from Luka, right? Then Jalen Brunson decided, I'm going to New York. He ran from Luka. So you got an all-star level point guard decided, I don't want to play with this dude. I'd rather go play in New York and do my own thing. He left. All-time great coach who won a championship there, he left, and the unicorn Porzingis left. And then at some point, the entire Dallas Mavs organization gave up on Luka and traded him for AD. That's telling you they ain't really feeling him like that. So Tim McMahon, one of the Dallas reporters who always keeps it real and honest with Luka, was having this conversation with a couple of guys on what he, and I think he wrote a book based on Luka's time in Dallas, and he's telling about some of the things that you might read in that book.
but he also has his flaws, and those are covered in the book. The conditioning concerns, some of the petulance. So there's little breadcrumbs if you look throughout the book that lead up to this. Luka, he could be a huge pain in the butt. I always thought there was a decent chance that the ending would be Luka Doncic getting traded. It's not really a biography on Luka because, frankly, I knew Luka wouldn't want to cooperate with that. So it's more about the business of basketball and the pressure on a franchise when they draft a prodigy through the prism of Luka. After 6 years of kissing this guy's butt, I never imagined they would put the shank in his back, trade him in the dead of the night when he had no idea it was coming. This guy's not disciplined enough. He's going to break down. We don't trust him. We don't want him. Let's move him.
That last line, this guy don't put in the work. This guy's not disciplined enough. His body is going to break down. We don't trust him. We don't want him. Let's move him. I think all of those things are true. They saying on one end, we got to get this dude about $330 million next summer. So we got to give him $330 million next summer or this summer. And if we do give him $330 million, that means we're not going to be able to get him a lot of help. So if we give him $330, that means that we think that what we have right now with him and Kyrie is enough for us to win it. So we give him $330, and he probably worked the least out of all the guys that's getting good money for them. Kyrie, maybe PJ, maybe a couple of other guys. If we look at all of them, the leader, our best player that's getting paid more than everybody in this organization, other than the owner, he's the one that's working the least. Kyrie Irving's working harder than him. Kyrie Irving's always in shape, right? And he puts in effort on defense. So our leader don't put in effort on defense. He hasn't been in shape in the last 4 years. His attitude is trash. He don't respect the coaches. He don't respect teammates. He whines on the court all the time. Like all of these things, you got to think about all this when you you're making an investment in a player to lead your franchise. And he can't be the one that's in shape, not playing defense. Those are the two effort things. You can't be that. At some point, the Lakers had to make that decision with Shaq. I'm choosing Kobe over Shaq. He's coming in out of shape. He's not getting in shape to All-Star break almost. Kobe's got to carry us until then. And then when he finally gets in shape, he wants the ball back. You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. Right? So I looked at some of the final minutes of the game against Brooklyn. And I wish I can stop and start this. I don't know if I can. But I'm going to try to talk through some of the things I'm saying. I want y'all to pay attention to Luka, though. Because in the fourth quarter, it looked like I don't know if the Lakers went small to match what Brooklyn was doing, but they didn't have a center on the court, right? Luka was the tallest person on the court for the Lakers, which is a bad thing in a way. It's kind of a good thing for the Lakers because they don't want Luka to guard the ball because he gets cooked every time he guards the ball. So him being the biggest guy, he was the guy in the corner that rotated to the paint for rim protection. So I want you to watch the corners on defense for Luka. I want you to watch his effort. I want you to watch what happens when he do rotate to try to stop a layup, how that effort looks. I mean, I just want you to watch all of that stuff, man, and just tell me if you want to get this guy $330 million. So there he is on the right corner at the top, right? I'm just showing you where Luka at. He was at the right corner. Looks disinterested. There he is again at the right corner again. Well, look at him rotate. I'm not even gonna try to block the shot. It's the fourth quarter. We're down 2. You gotta put some effort on that. All right, there is the bottom corner. What is he gonna do? All right, that's D'Angelo Russell 3-pointer, right? Luka's he's at the corner because he can't guard the ball, right? Now he's at the top corner. Now Cam Johnson said, "Clear out." This can happen every fourth quarter on Luka. Every fourth quarter, someone can go one-on-one on him like that. That's what you got to deal with when you got Luka as one of your players, right? Now watch his rebounding effort. That was Luka's fault because Luka didn't box out. That was Luka's man that came from the corner and got that rebound. Luka didn't box him out. He looked at him, then turned his head and just watched the ball. And then Vanderbilt got pushed into Luka's legs, and they both came out of the play. And the Brooklyn Nets guys got the rebound and scored. But if Luka would have boxed that dude out at the 3-point line instead of trying to cheat so he can get that cheap rebound, who knows what would have happened. But that's the effort he gives. That's his effort. That's trash. That's trash. They claim Luka had a bad back, but he ain't playing defense before the back. His back be looking good when he got the ball, though. His back be looking good when he got the ball. So those are my thoughts on Luka. The Lakers, I mean, I think that honeymoon phase of them going on that little win streak and all that stuff, I think that's gonna I mean, that's kind of in the win now. It's kind of over now. They've already dropped from the 2 spot to the 3 spot, and they got 40 wins. And I think the team that's in the 4th and 5th spot both got 40 wins. Well, one got 41, but they got more losses than Lakers. They played more games, so they in the 4 spots. But the point is, the Lakers lose again, and those teams is under them win. Lakers could drop to the 6th spot by next game. So they went from 2 to 6 that quick. Right now they're in 3. They could be in the 6th spot in 1 or 2 games, right? And then in the play-in by the end of the season. So keep y'all eye on that. That's the show for tonight, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all playing Underdog Fantasy and using Man Down Sports as your promo code. Make sure y'all sharing the podcast. But I need y'all to hit that like button like right now. Thanks for everybody for calling. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the comments. I catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.